I do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Wednesday the 8th of June 2022. Remember viewers, it's our public concerns night tonight. So call your friends, call your family, just like every other Wednesday. From January till now, we highlight the road condition, the bridges condition, the box drain condition. We highlight the MPs, the councillors not visiting your community or your constituency. The people cannot get in touch with them. You know, every Wednesday we do it, viewers, just for you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to have better access to roads, bridges, and watercourse in our country. Not in nobody else's country, viewers, but our little paradise, Trinidad and Tobago. So remember, Real Talk with Saieed Ali is live on Synergy Network. We have our own studio on 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas. We are just sending a link to Synergy Network to broadcast. I want you to remember that. So call your friends, call your family, send them your message, give them a phone call, the WhatsApp message, the Facebook Messenger. Let them know our public concerns night, viewers, is going live tonight. Our phone line to call in at 238-6716 is our number to call in. Remember that. So those of you now who are looking for money borrow, you're looking for some cash, quick cash, 2 days approval, you can contact Saeed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies. We are licensed money lender, viewers. So if you're looking for quick cash, not a problem. You have some form of security, house, land, vehicle, you have cash over here, you know. You want to give us the cash to hold for money borrow, it's not a problem. You contact us, viewers, at 339-1670, 267-7325, or 242-7690. That is our South Office numbers. You can contact Central Office at 238-6716 or 339-1670. Remember, I am Saeed and we love to lend. We love to lend. You know why I say that? Let me tell you something. God loved us so much that He would lend us prosperity. Why do I say lend? Because when we die, our prosperity don't go with us. So He would lend us a BMW. He would lend us a nice big house. He would lend us health and strength. He would lend us a job while we are living. I like to lend money also. So that the money you borrow from me, it will help you to get what you need to go through life. So when I lend you money, God will lend me more. You have to know how the world goes round. So as we start off our program tonight, viewers, just an update that happened in Trinidad and Tobago during the course of the day we want to bring to you. Hundreds of persons were seen lined up at the South Academy for Performing Arts, SAPA, before 6 a.m. today to register for a job with Royal Caribbean. One woman said she camped outside the building from early as 8 o'clock last night. Last night would have been Tuesday night. The line stretched along the Rienzi Curtin Highway from the entrance of SAPA to the HDC apartment building at Embacade. That's a long line. However, the police was present ensuring that there was a smooth flow of persons lined up in an orderly manner. There was a similar response by nationals yesterday at the National Academy for Performing Arts in Port of Spain. As a result, the company indicated that it will return to Napa on Friday to accommodate those who did not get through. So viewers, if it did not get through during yesterday and today, on Friday, the company will return to Napa. So make sure and go down there early if it didn't get through yesterday and today. Moving along now, Barataria Sawa MP Saddam Hussein have stated that the UNC has filed a motion of no confidence against our Speaker, Bridget Anderson George, which will expose what he called continuous silencing of the opposition. Remember I was telling you about this? The PNM is backed by the House Speaker in the House of Representatives. Why am I saying this? Because I would bring important question to you through video clips of the House of Representatives in the Parliament. Important question that the opposition would be asking, and MPs on the PNM administration, they are blocked from they are blocked by Anderson George from answering these questions. Why is this? Why can't you just sit her tail down in the chair like anybody else and allow the question to flow and answers to be returned? Because I remember just a couple nights ago, I asked Bridget if she is satisfied in the way that the Coast Guard is being handled in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, I believe was Rodney Charles asking the Minister of National Security if he is comfortable and if he is happy in the way that the Coast Guard is being handled and managed. Up come the House Speaker. I will not allow that question. Why are you not allowing the question? Taxpayers' money are paying. It is spending. And you can't allow the minister to answer that. What are you afraid of? What are you blocking for? But you making joke. If Trinidad and Tobago Media Association and Trinidad and Tobago people afraid to call up Bridget naming them out, Saieed Ali and Fred. Because you getting paid through taxpaying citizens. That salary you're collecting is through taxpaying citizens paying your salary, and you want to break for one side and then you want to put down the other side? Hell no! Not while Saieed living, not while I have my show on television. Let me tell you something, give jackets. Give jackets. And I will always say this, as long as you are a part of a problem, you cannot be part of a solution. That is how I know it. So I want to thank now Saddam Hussein for bringing this motion against her. It's about time somebody do something in the Parliament. How much money is being spent on Coast Guard of Trinidad and Tobago? How much money? Bridget, are you hearing me? How much money? How much of hard-working, tax-paying citizens' money are being spent? Or let's feel because all let's sit down in a big chair, or let's don't have to give an account to nobody. But I go tell you something, them days of all let's sitting down and blocking and playing hopscotch, it's done. Because this big mouth Muslim man on TV will put all in all your place. Not because you're a big speaker in the house, which means Saieed not afraid you. No, your job is to be fair and equal. And Trinidad and Tobago is not seeing it. You could be how much a hoity-toity and know what kind of people. It don't bother me. It don't bother me. Them same people, you know, my friend to come against Saieed. Take what I'm telling all you. The right thing is the right thing. As long as you are part of a problem, you could never be a part of a solution. That is how I know it. I was brought up with that. But nevertheless, we have got carried away with that tonight. We're going to leave that for back on Tuesday. Moving across now, a Williamville Secondary School girl who stabbed and slashed another schoolgirl during a fight has been expelled. The Ministry of Education said the decision was taken based on the enormous nature of the action. The incident, which occurred shortly after school was dismissed, left the victim, another 15-year-old, formed 2 students, hospitalized with stab wounds to her face, chest, and arm. However, the injured girl's grandmother claimed her granddaughter had been treated previously, had been threatened, my mistake, threatened previously by the girl who stabbed her. While the school is aware of the threats, no action was taken. The grandmother explained that the 10-centimeter long wound on her granddaughter's face, from her right eye to her lips, was deep enough to expose her teeth and required stitches. She said another x-ray had to be done to ensure that the 3-centimeter deep chest wound was not causing any lung complication. Now, this is a serious one, viewers. This is a very serious one. Now, meanwhile, National Parent Teachers Association President Kevin David also stated that he received complaint that initial reports of bullying in school were not being taken seriously. So now, viewers, they now decide now to put things in place. Remember, I was saying this all along? All along I was saying this. Even before COVID-19 entered Trinidad and Tobago, we were highlighting these matters. And it seemed to fall on deaf ear. Apparently the Minister of Education, like she cannot hear properly. That she cannot hear properly. You could tell me my son complaining of being bullied and being threatened, and everybody taking it for, hey, you wanna win this too? Everybody taking it for that? Look at the incident that took place now. So viewers, hear this now. Let's just say this now, and God forbid this happen, Let's just say that slash on her chest, let's just say things get complicated and that wound get infected. What you think gonna happen? What you think gonna happen? Is a chest wound? Is your lungs? And I understand now that they are seriously monitoring it. They are seriously monitoring it. But let me tell you something, it's a serious thing, It's a serious thing. Those donkey head people who are on the board, they need to get their act together. Because I will tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. If it was their child that ended up in that situation, police would have been down there holding somebody already. Me asking you, I'm telling you. I'm telling you that. Some people say, oh, Saeed, you're loud on TV and you're a shout. Let me tell you something. If this is the way I have to bring it across, for those who sit in position to embarrass them, bat out of hell embarrassment, well then this is how I will do it. This is how I will do it. The former Minister of Education, Anthony Garcia, let me tell you something, that man gets so much embarrassment from me on television until he decides, you know what, me going back there again. Nah? One time I even told him, I said, Mr. Man, careful, your bed started shaking, You feel afraid? I demand justice in Trinidad for those who cannot get it done. Those who cannot stand up. Those who are being muzzled. Those who are being walked over. I am here for them. Walk over me and you will see something. Your foot might start to decay from underneath, come up, or from on top, go down. You feel afraid to say it? I'm afraid to say it. Because everybody in Trinidad and Tobago, in high authority, in medium authority, and the lower class people know exactly what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. And nobody seems to care. Well, if nobody seems to care, when your office starts to get lighted up on national television, and it starts to hit local and regional, then self, you just want to know what to do. You start to tremble now. What to do, how to fix it, how to get this done, how to get that done. So you go tell me they just expel the girl and done with that? They just expel the girl and done with that? How long is it going to take the police to act on charges? tell you something. If that was my daughter, if that was my daughter, I telling you this on national television, overnight police are lay charges, you know, because the DPP phone would have been ringing whole night. Whole night. Whole night that phone would have been ringing. Boy, you think it easy? MP for Tabakit Anita Haynes have stated that with school violence out of the schoolyard and into the streets, more is needed from the Ministry of Education to address the issue. She stated that the ministry must introduce proactive measures and implement targets or targeted intervention to address school indiscipline and violence. This is also includes specific plans for high-risk schools in addition to a violent incident protocol to minimize risk of trauma to the student population. Haynes also added that there was a need to provide students with a safe space to seek refuge and make reports. But you know how long these things are supposed to come in effect? But when you have an education system that puts it on the back burner, what you expect? Since before COVID-19, I talking about school violence and how we need to address it before some child die in school. Look what nearly happened. Look what nearly happened. Look what nearly happened. How do you think that grandmother feeling? That grandmother wants to know what justice now will her granddaughter get. You would tell me a school girl. You go to school, you're in uniform, and you have where you get a knife from? Where you get that knife from? Huh? It is obvious that the parents will be defending their daughter. I understand that. But ask your daughter why she had a knife while going to school. Call her good night.
Good night, Saieed.
My friend, how are you?
You must understand one thing in this country.
Talk to me.
I am a born Trinbagonian. And I can tell you something, people is very comfortable with this government. Talking about the customs, can't get them money for this allowance. And remember, these people who go on for the boat job, this 9 o'clock in the night, them waiting days to get an interview, ask them to come out and protest against Raouli and this stinking government, this Suarez, this cesspit government. Ask them to come out. They would never come out to march to vote them out. So they're comfortable.
I understand.
And biscuit is good for them.
I understand. Thank you, my friend. The Ministry of Education has reissued measures to deal with violence in school across the country in light of an incident at schools in recent weeks. They now reissue measures. When I was talking about it for the last 2 or 3 years, all I wasn't taking on Saieed. Now all I for jump in hot water. All I started to take on Saieed. Eh? When the horse jump out of the stable and reach about 5 miles up the road, all they now looking for rope, we lackadaisical. That is how you call us, lackadaisical. No vision, no planning, nothing on the drawing board on how do we go forward, on how do we fix it. When the Prime Minister said, we are a violent society, you think he was right or he was wrong? I will let you answer that. The measure stated that students who commit serious offense while in uniform, whether or not you're in the school compound or not, faces the maximum penalty of expulsion from school. This applied to students engaged in fight that resulted in serious injuries to others, or the wielding of dangerous weapon. The statement said these measures are especially necessary in dealing with the continuing indiscipline of schools behaviors in the most recent, as in Williamville. It said the matter is also under active police investigation, and help from Student Support Service Division has been offered to the student involved. Support Service Division have offered students help who was involved. They stand up and watching, and none of them want to pardon them, and you offer them help. Let me tell you something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 witnesses just had to come forward and say how the fight start, and it's level charges. Level charges. How do we fix crime in Trinidad? By getting information and storing it 2 and 3 miles away from us? No, when you get information, you act on it one time. We too lackadaisical in Trinidad. We just say, where you hang, you swing. That is how we just say it. That is why we are in this state. We down in the gutter. Down in the gutter. What department is coming to help now? The horse out at the stable, meeting up friends and gallivanting. All you now want to look for rope. Caller, good night.
Good evening, Mr. Sai.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Hey, let me tell you something. They could put army, they could put all the police, they could put the Coast Guard in the schools, and that wouldn't stop the violence that taking place.
I understand what you're saying.
Let me tell you something what's going on in this thing. If you show 15 videos with school violence, it will show you something. It's a culture of violence we see it. It's a culture coming from a culture of people. Now, Camille Robinson rages. Watch how quick she and she whole group responded to when she made this little
statement.
With
yes.
You see how quick?
Yes.
Now, every day them seeing what's going on in this country, and you know they would not respond in a way to try to change the mentality and the behavior.
Correct. And caller, I was expecting the Prime Minister to be the bigger one there when he made his statement.
He would do that because he didn't do the same thing. Remember how he made the big issue, the yellow banana scene?
Yes.
And then everybody reacted towards it. How it is, you could see every single day violence taking place in schools, and it is of one culture of people. Not to say that the others don't fight too, but the prevalence you're seeing is of this culture. Why this isn't activating a nerve that these people can say, hey, it's looking embarrassing. It is shameful. We as African people, how we looking at this thing is not looking good. And we need to do something. We need to start to reach out and show leadership quality in our communities so that we could change the behavior of our people. And people wouldn't look at us and say, watch, it's them again, it's them again. It's all the robberies, the jails full up, all this kind of nonsense. That's where we are. And you see what's happening there with that thing? Who was there for the child? The grandmother. The only time I know about my grandmother is when on a Sunday or a weekend we would get dressed and go and visit my grandmother. No grandmother didn't raise me, or raise any of my family in our home. Because the parents had to raise us.
I understand.
Us the proper way. Grandmother was to visit and come and say, hi, you're going and get sweetie and all these kind of things from them. But not to be a part of being the parent. And where the parents? And this is all the things that people have to look at and start to change our mentality. Something like this. If you, and the other part of it, you have to show these children them that it has something of value for them when they're getting out of school and they have a future. Because let me say you as scrap iron dealer and you picking up scrap iron all over the place. And you buy a lotto and you realize you win $13 million. You're going to pick up scrap iron. You're going to keep that money. You hoping nothing happen to you. So, you know, so you have something to hold on to. It's the same thing with education. If you're going and educating yourself, and you know it have jobs and it have things for you to have a future for, you would pay attention in school. But when you know that you have nothing in no future for you after you come out of school, why do you think they're fighting and getting them? Because they know education and no value for them. You understand? You have to give the children of value so that they know that, oh, hey, I could pay attention, I could dedicate this short period of my life to getting a good education so that I have a future to depend on. And instead of fighting and all this bacchanal going on, you have something, a future that is waiting for you, not what is going on in this country. This government has sent this country about 30 years backwards in this 7 years period. Have a good night, Mr. Saieed. Enjoy your
Thank you, my friend. Hey, talking about that. A parent called me today. Hear how this thing started. A parent called me today. Her son goes to Tabland High School. That's in the George Village, Tabland district. She said, Saeed, my son came home today, and my son telling me, this student just looked at him just so, and tell him, hey, I don't like you and I go deal with you. Just so out of the blues. Now I go tell you something. You're going to school. It's not a matter who like you and who don't like you, you know. You're going to school to get an education, to be a better person, to be an educated person, so you could read and you could write and you could be an accountant, or you could be a seamstress, or you could be a mechanic, or you could be something, an engineer, an underwater welder. You're going to school to get an education. You're going to school not to tell somebody else, children, hey, I don't like you. Hey, is that kind of dancing head kind of student or? That happened in Tabland High School today. Parents called me. Just like that, her son walking, and the boy just come up just on him and tell him, hey, I don't like you. Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Man. You touch that young man in school, and you go see who I go like you. Go ahead and touch him. I telling you, go and touch that young boy, and you will see something. I'm going to say the distance your parents will go to help you. Not while Saeed gets involved in it. You go see who like you and who I like you. Go ahead and touch that young man. I'm telling you on national television. And I'm calling out the school name too. I'm going to tell you something. If somebody ain't stand up in this country for this set of nonsense that taking place, the ministry ain't going to do nothing about it. And I will stink it and embarrass them all the time for lackadaisical thinking, no planning, no strategy, nothing black and white, nothing on the drawing board. Hence the reason why we reach where we are today. God forbid that girl that going to the Williamville school, God forbid she closes her eye because of the chest injuries. What's going to happen? Answer that question, Trinidad and Tobago. Let the ministry know and all the board members answer that question. All I want to put the merit point system. You feel it's a car they're driving? You feel they have hands selling in the grocery? Huh? You feel like her hair selling in the grocery? But nevertheless, let me get too heated over that. It's our public concerns night. So I'll just start off our public concerns night tonight. Call her good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead.
I know it's public concerns night, but listen to this. I'm not too sure if it was Ms. Dolly Gaspy, given the her first appointment wasn't Minister of Sports, and she said she knows nothing about sports.
I believe so, and if you
But
make
it
a
seems
mistake.
as though she knows nothing about education either.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
So as we start off our public concerns night tonight, viewers, remember from now until the show finish, we only want to hear about the road, the bridges, the councillor, the MPs in your community. Alright, this is at number 61 Eleanor Street, right in Shogunas. Put up the hole first. Nah, one before that, the hole. Alright. About a week back, a concerned citizen, a business owner in Eleanor Street in Shogunas sent me this picture. Alright? They thief the manhole cover. Good. So last week we highlighted this. Now, look what they put. You could zoom in to get a close-up picture on it. That is what they put, viewers. Concrete slab, wire exposed, and they wrap it up in Guardian paper. All that. Look at that. And that's supposed to help individuals now from going down into the hole. How sad is that? How sad is that? This is where we reach. It's stinking sad. Look at that. That is what we call repair? Huh? That is what we call repair? How much more worse can we get? How much more worse? So I believe now, just to add with this manhole cover that were being stolen, I believe the Scrap Iron Dealers Association in Trinidad and Tobago have put a halt to the purchase of copper from various business owners throughout Trinidad and Tobago, those who deal in the Scrap Iron Association. Those dealers, they came out with a bulletin, a media. They sent me a message yesterday, and they are telling their dealers, scrap iron dealers, stop purchasing copper from individuals who bring it to them, because it is making the scrap iron dealers in Trinidad and Tobago look very bad, as if though they are encouraging what is taking place. So we could just leave that there for tonight. Moving along. Bad roads. Now, this is the road in Lamy Trace, Quarry Road, Mount Diablo, where residents have to walk through on a daily basis to go to work. For the past 10 years, residents have been appealing to their councillor, Dipti Ramnath. 10 years, to their councillor, Dipti Ramnath, for her to fix the road, but no help has been given to this date. The road was in a very deplorable condition, with only mud and water that fills the pothole when it rains. The residents also have to drain out the water from the pothole by themselves. Residents are pleading for help. Imagine that. Lamy Trace, Quarry Road, Mount Diablo. So if the councillor for that area, Dipti Ramnath, if he could call in the program and explain to us what is the key back on getting materials to fix the road for your people, since you are the councillor, we would really appreciate it. And the people also would appreciate it. Because on a Wednesday night now, I want to hear from councillors. I want to hear from MP. Because always the one I am lighting up on national television, not the residents. Your job is to write letters upon letters upon letters and beg until your neighbor's string come out. That's your job. Because you're getting paid for it. Caller, good night.
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Right. I am a former acting principal in a government school.
Okay.
And I want to let them know that there's a very easy solution to this school violence thing, you know.
Tell us, talk to us.
According to my Uncle Percy, the solution to the country problem right in front of us. but who is going to bail the cat? And the problem is, the government doesn't want to look bad and do what is the obvious thing. All you have to do is make parents responsible for their children's behavior. My father was a principal in a primary school. And I was a principal in secondary school. And I told my children who went up to prestigious schools, don't let me hear all you giving any teachers trouble are coming in the school fold. But of course, I knew the character of my children. I knew they would never do that. And they went through uni successfully, and they are successful in life. They have good jobs on it. No, the government does not want to make parents responsible for their children's behavior like in progressive countries like New Zealand and so. As a matter of fact, when I was an acting vice principal in a terrace school in North Trinidad in the East-West Corridor, a parent came and attacked me physically.
Wow.
And hear what happened. Hear how this happened. I never even teach the child. Never teach the child. But because I saw her running down the corridor using the F word with some boys and so on, I called her one side and said, "Girl, come here, you are a girl, why you getting on like that?" And she said, "You know, my father is a so-and-so criminal." And in fact, the PNM had come back in Bow, and you know what she told me? A non-rated tourist, and I hope those who send it posts about contact can pay. And so on will listen to this. She said, "Never rule now. Coolly dead. You know who is my father?" And she used her cell phone to call her father and come and attack me in school. And there's a waste-of-time unit in the Ministry of Education called Student Support Services. They came and backed that child.
Wow.
Although teachers who were present and students who were present heard when the girl said, I will rip my shirt pocket and say that he touched me on the breast and rip my bag and so on. And teachers and students put pen to paper and said they heard when the girl said she was going to set me up. And the chairman of the PTA then, Miss Chase, backed me to the hill. Officer Macmillan from the Parliamentary police station supported me and said he knew who the criminal was and he would deal with it. But because Student Support Services backed the student and say all sorts of things about me and I racial and all this thing, that died a natural death. As a matter of fact, I have a letter I can show you now in the morning if I want, where they said they investigated the matter. That was in 2003, I think. Where are we in? I went, get promoted and all of that, and retire, get my gratuity, call back by the ministry to do something in the primary schools as a supervisor, right? And you tell me that investigation was taking place from 2003, 2004, somewhere around there. What year in 2022?
Yes,
Student Support Services can't find a solution or complete an investigation yet, and I don't show my gratuity. So the problem is this. Dear the parents, if your child misbehaves in school, we come in for you. And I would say further, pass a law that if a teacher, because it's coming, you know, that is coming. When I was a monitor in the primary schools, principal used to tell us that teachers complaining that the parents of 6 and 7-year-olds telling them that if you only rough up my child or buff my child or call my child stupidity, we come in for you. And I am saying the government could solve that in the morning. Because if I was in government and a parent come and touch a teacher in school, even touch his shirt, that is battery according to the law. And listen, the penalty for that in my books would be 100,000 fine off the bat.
Yes.
Oh, you don't have the money? You have a car? We selling the car by auction. And the difference we making up by all your gold chain you have on your neck, from your neck to your ankle, we taking that and we trading it off in the pawn shop. And we getting our money. Plus, I ain't done yet. 10 strokes at the Chapter 9, and we filming that and playing that before the TTE news at 7 o'clock, prime time.
Correct.
Drop the pants, cut the tail, and it bound to stop. It bound to stop. And he are bound to do MTS in school again. Because children will do that. Listen, when we come and we damage furniture in the school, which doesn't belong to the parent or them, it belongs to the taxpayer. It comes for other students, your brother and nieces to be, will come and use that, right? Then they will know that here it is, I can't interfere with school property because that is not mine, that is taxpayer's own. And if they charge a caution money, standardize the books, so you have to spend $3,000 in 4 months for a 4-month child to buy books.
Yes.
You charge them $3,000 caution money. If you damage anything in the school partner, that coming out your caution money, you get boot out of school until your parent can find that money. Some will draw their blood, sell it or something, and come back to the school because they bring back the caution money up to scratch. And the problem is bound to mass according to our partner, man. And by the way, my first appointment was in Williamsville Junior Set.
Okay.
I had talking through my heart. I know could at that part of my contribution. I have many other suggestions. But I know the ministry won't take it. I know they won't take it because they're too concrete, they're too real. They're too easy to solve all the problems that they play in the wrong with. Imagine this demerit system, according to you. With a car you're driving. You're nonsense, so. This really is banana republic, you know, a failed state, you know. We crying out for leadership in this country, you know.
My friend, thank you so much for highlighting that issue with us. Hear this now. I just tell my kids and them, if all they get in a fight in school, hear the words as he listen to me carefully. Yes, it's my children, I love you. I love you. I care for you. I will go out of my way to make sure you're safe. But the day you hear a fight take place in school, and I, Saeed, hear from more than 2 or 3 students, Saeed, your son caused the bacchanal. Let me tell you something, partner. You're going in YTC and you're facing it, the most difficult situation or treatment they have in YTC, I'm letting you pass through that. I'm letting you pass through that. Because I just tell my kids and them every single day, let me tell you something. The day all they embarrass me in Trinidad and Tobago is a different story, you know. I'm letting all you know one time. I ain't playing that. Because I work very hard for the last 15, 16, 17 years to reach where I am today. Saieed Ali is a trusted and a responsible and a respectable and a public figure in Trinidad and Tobago, and it extended to other countries, local and regional, and no children ain't coming to spoil my name. You will get the full brunt of the roughness or the full brunt of the strictness. I just tell my boys them that. And if all his parents and others refuse to tell all their children, allow your children to embarrass you, I just draw the line where it is. Look, my son and them, I will buy a gift for them. Nothing wrong with that. But when you see something and you like it, Daddy, I want this. Here what's going on. Come out for a second or third in test, and I'm buying that for you. That's how I do it. My son wanted an iPhone. I said, no problem. I said, I want an iPhone? He said, Daddy, I want one like yours. I said, no problem. I said, I work for mine, you know. He said, all right. I said, here what to do. You make it first or second and test. And I carry you in the store to pick out whatever iPhone you want. Let me tell you something. He worked. Sometimes 1, 2 o'clock in the morning when I get up to walk in the house. And I crack them doors because he's studying. You know why? He won the iPhone. He's studying 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I have to pass this test because I want that. Daddy say if I come out first or second, he buying it. And he pressed forward. He pressed forward. Came out second, Teacher said, Saeed, your son real study. I said, no. I said, see him 2 o'clock in the morning studying. I said, good. When he get grades, and I see it, I said, good. I said, now let me go and get the iPhone. That's how I just move with my kids and them. You motivate them. You don't just bring it and throw it on them. I don't do that. You're growing up. You're working for what you want. You're working towards responsibility. You're working towards a gift. You set an aim. You have a plan. Hey, let me tell you something. As long as you have a vision, you have a plan. And you bring it into reality, you know. And I just teach them these things. You have a vision. I want an iPhone. All right. There's a vision in my head. I want an iPhone. The plan is now to study to get first or second. That's where you bring it into reality. So you have your vision, you have your plan in your head, and you execute it. And you get your iPhone. 3 steps. But nevertheless, road rehabilitation project has executed at Broomage number 1 in the electoral district of Lengua, Indian Walk. This was executed under the 2021-2022 PSIP and is necessary to provide comfortable access to pedestrians and vehicular. Councillor for the district is Rajesh Lal. Get up with you. Well done. To the councillor, congratulations. And we want to thank the rehabilitation workers and them who did the work under the 2021-2022 PSIP program. Thanks so much for making it a reality. Moving along. Heavy rainfall caused flooding across several parts of Penal. Now, leaving a few residents marooned and certain area impassable. While there were no reports of major loss, if there is continual rainfall, residents fear the worst is yet to come. Ooh, let me see the footage. Now, meanwhile, some farmers, there's the footage in Penal. Whoa, a couple days again. Mamu want to take a boat? Just remove the CG bar. That's knee-height water. Look at that. That area is always flooded by the watch me now. They really had to put on some work in that area, you know. They really had to put on some work in that area. So that is one part, viewers. Meanwhile, some farmers also lost crops at the Pudai Lagoon. Penal Debe Regional Corporation Chairman Dr. Alan Sami visited affected area and explained that over the years, the farmers have had no choice but to pay or to play a cat and mouse game with the weather and have adopted several strategies. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Works Drainage Division has sought to address this issue. He said a pump which would assist in draining the flood water was not working. Wow. It's sad. It's sad. Moving along. Residents of Lower St. Julian, Princestown are begging for assistance to repair the deplorable road in their area. The road was last repaired in 2018 by residents and was last paved in 2007. So the road was last paved in 2007 and it was repaired in 2018 by residents. A request was also sent to the president, the opposition leader, to Works, Labour and Local Government Ministries, major contractors, MPs, for Princestown and the Ministry of Victoria East for donation with materials to repair the road. However, no assistance has yet been received. So the last time they paved the road was in 2007, and in 2018 residents fixed the road. So the works department have to do is just provide the material. Letters have been sent to various organizations, ministries, contractors, government office, opposition leaders, and nothing, absolutely nothing. This is madness. At least provide the material and the residents would fix it. That is all they had to do. How shameful is that? Hey, we're giving away hundreds of millions of dollars. Don't study the road. You know what we're going to say? Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. Oh, Rowley, we love you. Oh, Rowley, we love you. Left foot, right foot. And when you hear you walk, splash, 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 splash. When rainfall, you're going on in pothole. Every Saturday by the mechanic, you're changing a shock. You're changing a spring. Your rim bend. Oh, Rohanson, and I'm going to say, who is to blame for that? You is to blame for that. Go to the Ministry of Finance. Demand money for allocations. What are you talking about? You not responsible. Who is responsible for the road? You're operating just like the Minister of National Security. My job, Madam Speaker, is not to make the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago feel safe. Let me tell you something. If we had a serious president in Trinidad and Tobago, if we had a serious president in Trinidad and Tobago, or we had an outstanding, honorable prime minister, let me tell you something. I would have told the president to revoke his appointment as Minister of National Security one time with immediate effect. But then again, when you have all the barrel in one, or all the crab in one barrel, what are you going to do? If the minister of the head of the Security Council, who is the Prime Minister, said he didn't even know who come in the plane from Venezuela when our airport was closed. If he didn't even know how we come in the plane, who come in the plane, you expect the Minister of National Security to take care for us? It's Bim and Bam Friday. It's easy, you know. It's easy at all. Ministry of Works and Transport, Rohan Sinanan, have stated that his ministry is not at fault for the poor state of the country's road, and the problem lies with WASA and local government bodies. Hey, hear this, local government bodies. If and only if the Ministry of Finance would release funding to the corporations throughout Trinidad and Tobago and to local government, we road would fix in Trinidad, you know. I now tell Allah Rohan say he is responsible. Allah hear it? He say he is responsible. But you know we put? They move Faris from AG, put him to the Minister of Local Government. Let's see how he would perform. Because the Ministry of Finance refused to release money for the former local government minister, Kazim Hussein. So I heard now that Faris Al-Rawi have sweet words to utter to Trinidad and Tobago as of what he wants to do. So I will give him a couple weeks. Or if somebody could just tell Faris to call Saeed, he would like to have you on a Wednesday night program, it would be so nice to have him. It would be so nice to have him. It's sad, but it's really sad. It's a stinking shame. It's a stinking shame. We have ministers and we have organizations that govern under these ministries. And we are not responsible. So who the hell is responsible? Hugo Chavez? Who's responsible for our road? Mia Motley? Is Bharat Jagdev responsible for our roads in Trinidad? While we have Colin Member only exempting multimillionaires, poor man feeling it. Poor man feeling it. Hey, here we're going on. I just want to start to say, be careful, ministers get heart attack, you know. Oh, side who tell you say damn thing. Remember last time I said our minister go get an accident, what happened to Terrence? Oh, Saeed, your mouth sour. Well, if you don't like it, you keep quiet. Be careful, ministers start getting heart attack. And I will say it again. Be careful, ministers start getting heart attack in Trinidad. Somebody will say, Saeed, how you going to say a thing like that? Well, it's coming out of my mouth again. Be careful, ministers start getting heart attack in Trinidad. If you don't like it, turn the station. TNT's Raga Soca King, General Grant, that's his name, General Grant, has pledged support for a clean up campaign in the South City. This, as San Fernando residents, Tracy and Gomez led 24 children in a clean-up campaign in commemoration of World Environment Day. Gomez followed in the footsteps of Monrepo Navet councillor Nigel Coty, who together with volunteers have been cleaning their homes of the elderly for the past 3 months. Well done, councillor. Well done. We also want to thank Ms. Gomez. We also want to thank General Grant. Now, Gomez stated that it was time to take back the children from criminals and get them involved in civic duties. Well said. Congratulations, my dear. She noted that several communities initiatives have been underway over the past few weeks. Gomez also issued a call to citizens to join the cause. That's photos, Shrita. Oh, the kids. Oh, pull it back. Pull it back. The kiddies and them, they're underage. We do apologize for that, viewers. The kids and them, they are underage, and I don't want to show their faces on national television. I do apologize for that. It's the first time I'm seeing the pictures, so I do apologize for that. I know a lot of parents wouldn't like to see their young kids on television, so I do apologize for that sincerely. 2 minutes left. The new type of squatters has emerged in Trinidad and Tobago in recent times. They are known as squatter lords, who squat on lands for financial gain and not because of economic hardship. Do we have that in Trinidad? While the overall number of squatters have decreased in recent years, there were certain squatters in hotspots where some people have tried to establish themselves as squatter lords. Committee Chairman, Independent Senator Dr. Varma Dialsing observed there were many reasons why people squat, in which poverty, unemployment, and evictions from their former homes would cause that. Acting Commissioner of State Land, Banmati Sicharan, also added that it was difficult to deal with squatting on private land, as this is out of the remit of her office and the LSA. LSA means Land Settlement Agency. Sicharan stated that under the law, squatter structure could not be demolished while people were living in them. That is according to them. But there are ways and there are means that the agency are demolishing and taking back lands. Residents of Lakeview Housing Development in La Fortune, Point 14, are seeking urgent assistance for the Housing Development Corporation, HDC, to fix a sewer line that has spilled raw sewer onto their property. Affected residents stated that they moved into the area about 6 years ago and have been experiencing the problem for the past 4 years. So HGC, you mean it take 4 years before you could fix the problem? One resident stated that the problem was more than prevalent during the rainy season and feared what would happen in the coming months. So which means after 4 years, the problem ain't fixed as yet. HGC, don't be lackadaisical now, please. Speaking on behalf of the residents, Hamilton said, anticipation for the upcoming rainy season, they had raised the matter with HGC, who they have sent a team. So we will hear more about that in the coming days. Viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, it's Bacchanal Thursday tomorrow the 9th. We look forward to seeing you. We look forward to hearing from you. There's a rerun of this program tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 a.m. And we will see you there, viewers. Until we meet again, good night.